Welcome to the AI Research Roundup. I'm Alex. Today we're looking at a paper from the Hugging Face trending list, published on December 5th, 2025, about 3 days ago. And this paper tackles instability and reinforcement learning used for large language model post-training. It introduces entropy ratio clipping, a way to monitor and clip changes in policy entropy so training stays stable and performance consistently improves. The paper is titled Entropy Ratio Clipping as a Soft Global Constraint for Stable Reinforcement Learning. And as we will see later, the implications for safer and more reliable model training are quite significant. Figure 1 shows how entropy ratio clipping reshapes policy updates so they stay within a safer trust region. The left panel plots entropy ratio against token probability, revealing that extreme low or high probability tokens produce the largest global distribution shifts. The middle panel compares the standard proximal policy optimization clip objective with the added entropy ratio clipping term, which simply ignores gradients when entropy changes too much. The right panel then relates new versus old token probabilities, where adding entropy ratio clipping keeps points tightly around the diagonal, meaning updates remain small and stable. So, figure 2 shows that entropy ratio clipping makes training calmer, while accuracy still climbs. The top left panel compares entropy over steps, where the entropy ratio clipping curve stays lower and much smoother than plain DAPO. The top right panel tracks gradient norm, which measures the overall size of parameter updates, and entropy ratio clipping clearly suppresses big spikes. The bottom panels plot AIME24 and AIME25 accuracy, and the entropy ratio clipping variant matches or beats DAPO throughout training. Table 1 shows that entropy ratio clipping gives consistent accuracy gains across math benchmarks for both model sizes. The rows compare base DAPO reinforcement learning with and without entropy ratio clipping for the DSR1 Distill QN 1.5b and 7b models. In every benchmark column, the ERC DAPO row reaches the highest score. The average accuracy rises by roughly 9 points for the small model and about 5 points for the larger one, which signals a robust and scalable benefit. Alright. Figure 3 makes clear which token updates entropy ratio clipping actually blocks. The scatter plot compares old token probability on the horizontal axis with new probability on the vertical axis, so points near the diagonal mean tiny changes. Blue points show normal, unclipped tokens, while yellow and red points mark tokens whose entropy ratio fell outside the allowed band. Those clipped tokens cluster near the edges of the trust region, which confirms that entropy ratio clipping mainly trims risky distribution shifting updates. Well, Table 3 shows that entropy ratio clipping also boosts performance when the authors swap in the GPPO reinforcement learning objective. The baseline GPPO row already improves the 7 billion parameter model, but the ERC GPPO row is higher on every math benchmark. AIME24, AIME25, and HMMT25 see the biggest jumps, and the overall average climbs from about 64 to 66, which signals that entropy-based clipping works beyond just DAPO. So, wrapping up, entropy ratio clipping acts like a global safety belt on reinforcement learning updates, keeping exploration stable while still lifting accuracy, especially on hard math benchmarks. The broader message is that monitoring entropy shifts can make large language model post-training more reliable, not just stronger. That is it for this episode of the AI Research Roundup. I am Alex. Thanks for listening.